Notes are actually presenter notes. They're notes that appear at the bottom of the screen in normal view and appear on the screen in presenter view, a new view in 2013. Notes do not appear to the audience. You'll notice when I put this presentation in presentation mode, the note at the bottom, some slides will contain teacher notes. When I put this into slideshow mode here, you will notice that that goes away. Those notes are only visible to the presenter on the presenter's monitor, not for the audience. Notes are useful in that they can help you remember things on a slide. Maybe there's a slide with you're going over a lot of different things on it. You don't want to write everything on the slide, but you want to remind yourself of exactly what you need to cover. Notes are useful for making a presentation for another audience. What I mean, that's another presenter. You're making a presentation, but your colleague, associate, another teacher is presenting it, and here's what you need to focus on. So, to turn notes on and off, we can use the View ribbon Notes here, or down on the status bar we can click the Notes button. Either one of those will toggle the view. If notes are on, it'll turn them off. If they're off, it will turn them on. Now we also have a Notes page here, which simply shows the slide and the notes. This view here, Notes page, is the printable view for notes. So I have the slide and I have the notes, and each slide is its own page with the notes below it. This is the best way to print slides if you want to print the slides with the notes on them to hand out to a class, to give to an audience if you want them to follow along. You can put blank lines in the notes if you want them to be able to take notes with lines. You want to be able to take notes, you could just make the notes blank lines, so blank lines will appear here. So this is one way you can use these in a way to print your slides in a nice printable view. In outline view here, I'll go back to outline view. We talked about outline view in a previous lesson. Notes also appear here. In slide sorter view, notice notes do not appear. I simply see the slides. I can click on a slide to go. I can click on a slide. If I double click a slide, I will go to that slide in the last view I was in. Outline view was the last view I was in. And notice there are no notes on this slide, but if I go back to slide 1, there are the notes. So to edit notes, we simply click down here and type. Spell check as you type. We talked about proofing in the previous lesson. Spell check as you type is active in notes, so it will tag misspelling. You can spell check your notes just like you can spell check any your main slide content. So with notes, I can make certain font choices, like I can boldface, I can italics, I can underline. I cannot change the font, the size, or the text color. So if I change the color here to yellow and click it, notice my note is highlighted. It does not change color. I can, however, boldface it. Shadow has no effect, but I can underline it and italicize it. However, notice changing the font has no effect on the note. Now if I jump over to Notes page here, notice now I can make changes. Notice now I can change the font. I can change that. Let's see if I can, and I can change the color. So in Note View, I can change the color. However, in normal view, the note will appear in normal, it looks like the default font in a default size. But when I want to print them, I can make them look however I want. So I can style them on the notes page, but in normal or outline view, they will appear in a normal font, normal size. And any styling that I apply will not appear. The only styling that I can apply in this view is bold, underline, and italics. Notes are very useful, especially when we talk about presenter view. I've mentioned it a couple times. When we talk about presenter view in a later lesson, it's very useful to be able to tell you, like I said, what to cover on the slide, what you might need to talk about if you're giving it to someone else. So there are lots of reasons to use notes. And I would recommend you using them, especially in long presentations, to kind of help you. Think of them as note cards. They kind of help you move the presentation along, because only you see them. Unless you print them out and give them to your audience, only you are going to see them on your monitor. If you're presenting on a projector, your monitor will show the notes. The projector will only show the presentation. So this lesson we briefly covered notes, how to find them, how to toggle them on and off, and where we can and cannot style them.